Alright, what we learned from picks and bans. The KOO Tigers or CJ Entis, I believe it's game 1. It is game 1. So I just happened to realize that these games are on and decided to make these videos. So we're a little bit late coming into this. And CJ, if you can see, I was already starting something. Basically, KOO Tigers has a pressure advantage due to the Kog'Maw and the Orianna versus Victor and Vayne. Kog'Maw's range during that Bioarcane Barrage is very good. It'll be pretty good. But with Engage, what we're going to now, it's gonna be on CJ. Evelyn can get in there and start a fight, and Maokai can follow that up pretty easily, along with Alistar. He can go in if he needs to. So that's going to be on CJ's side. CJ. Poke and heal. So KOO Tiger's poke is Kog'Maw is good. Orianna's not the best because she's limited. Basically her Q range, which is about 825, and it's not really poke range you can think of. Victor's definitely reaching towards 1,000, so he beats her there. But Prey on Kog'Maw, his ultimate is definitely a very long range and definitely good for poke. Both teams have some heals and not really shields on CJ, but definitely heals. So it's fairly equal, but it's definitely there. So we can potentially see some poke fights maybe before an actual engage or whatever. Non-committal CC. This is going towards KOO Tigers with Elise. There isn't really a whole lot of other non-committal CC in the game. Alistar, of course, commits in. So does Shen. So it's KOO, but it's not very strong. So these comps are definitely not pick comps. CJ can get picks, I think, easier than KOO Tigers, but they're not entirely going to be looking for it just because of the Evelyn. So engage pressure is definitely going to be on CJ. It's going to be on CJ whenever Kog'Maw has Bioarcane Barrage up, and whenever Kog'Maw has HP and is not pressured down. So let's talk about the fight in this game. So CJ needs to get a good engage on Prey. Now they're gonna have to go in with ambition. So we'll start talking about CJ. So CJ is going to have to engage with ambition. They could do shy, but I feel like they're gonna want to have shy around after ambitions engage to follow back up upon the Janna ultimate that would knock them all back. So it's gonna be ambition until Janna ultimate, with Coco kind of trying to lay down a large amount of damage onto Prey. It's gonna be an issue once you start thinking about Shen, because Victor's not gonna have enough damage. Well, Victor in the mid game should have enough damage to stop just Janna ult and shield from protecting Prey, but he's really not going to have enough damage to beat the shields from these two coming out, and that's where he's going to need ambition to jump on Prey to start with. So ambition and Coco kind of have to go hard for Prey and hopefully get them, and they have to try to make sure Space doesn't get hit by an ult there. This is going to be very hard to pull off, but it's possible. So ambition, so go ambition, engage, Victor onto Kog'Maw, and Vayne avoiding Orianna ultimates. That's kind of how they have to do this. So the difference is with KOO Tigers, or KOO, are they still called KOO Tigers? I think they are. So for their comp, they really want to let Kog'Maw put pressure, but Kog'Maw doesn't really have movement speed buff from anyone. So it'll be tough. They should be able to create the pressure though, especially whenever KOO uses one of his lasers or anything like that. Then it's going to be a little bit of a window to let KOO Tigers come in. So they can kind of just pressure with Prey, try to get picks with Elise, and then if they get the pick, follow up with Orianna ult, Kog'Maw attacking him, Kog'Maw ultimate. If they don't get it, just keep trying to put pressure and force them to engage on them, which they're good at defending against. There's no real risk for them walking up into range of CJ just because space is so short range. As long as Prey is like on the opposite side of KOO, it shouldn't be a big issue. So keep Prey away from KOO. Orianna should try to ult. Try to ult KOO before he does anything useful, but if not, definitely try to kill space. But space isn't terribly important. So pressure. Pressure. Stop KOO. KOO. They're also going to have to make sure they use all their shields and engages on whoever the hell, or the disengage on whoever gets engaged upon. Shy might become an issue later, but focusing him shouldn't be that big of a deal if they can get KOO or space down. And that's kind of the big thing. So the win of this, the pressure from the Kog'Maw is really strong, even if they don't have the movement speed. Well, CJ does have the engage to do it. It's a little bit wonky because they have the Janna disengage, which I believe a lot of people ban out or don't even pick at this time. But they have some follow-up, so it's still relevant. Poke, it's equal. And that's kind of bad for CJ because it forces in engage if they get hit or they back off. But and then finally the non-commit, CJ has that, and that's really good, especially in a poke battle. If you land that cocoon, it's going to be very, very deadly. Where am I going with it though? Because KOO Tigers, because CJ has the engage that they need to beat the pressure from KOO Tigers, I'm feeling like this is going to be closer than it should be if the top laner was like a Lulu or if the mid laner was a Lulu. Even though I like the Orianna more. So the engage, let's just say the engage would give us like a 65, or the pressure would give us 65 or 70. The engage would knock it down to that. KOO Tigers non-commit. And yeah, we're going to be ending this with 50% KOO. 65% KOO. I think they have the better. I think they have the more synergistic comp, and the Vayne's going to be an issue when you can't put pressure on the opposing AD carry via your mid laner. And they can't do that once he drops all of his load. Like if KOO blew everything he had on Kog'Maw and the shields from Shen, Orianna, and Janna kept him alive, that's what I'm talking about when you can't pressure the AD carry. It's definitely possible for him to survive a full burst from Victor. So there we go, 65% KOO.